what does the season opener mean to you?
It means a bunch, especially with it being my last one. So, I'm excited. All the work we've put in, we're finally going to get to put it to the test, and I'm excited to see what this team's going to be this year.
I know you're always working hard, but knowing this is your last ride, I mean, is there any different preparation? What do you do differently, anything like that?
Like I said, I've always kind of, took a lot of pride in the preparation things, but I mean, with it being your last one, I think that's just a little more of an edge to me, just knowing that, each game that's done, I won't be able to play that opponent no more, so I think it gives me just a little bit more fire. I already had it, but I think it just gives me that much more.
Since you're kind of been on the other side prior to this year, but when that depth chart does come out and stuff like that, what's the reaction among the players? And Nick said today he wants guys to compete regardless of where their name is listed on that sheet. What's that like for you in the past when you've kind of been on the other side of that, where you've had to compete for that spot?
I think we still don't think too much about it, at least personally, because in this game it takes everybody to win. It doesn't really matter exactly where you're at on the depth chart. You never know what can happen. You saw what happened with injuries last year, so I think it's just important to embrace your role, whatever it is, whether you're a starter, you're a rotational guy, whatever. I know that's how I always looked at it when I was younger. Whenever I got in the game, whatever amount of snaps I get, whether it's 3 snaps or 13 snaps, 20 snaps, I'm just going to make the most of those snaps and do what I can to make a big play. And I know, it helped for me. I know my redshirt sophomore year, that's how I looked at it. Anytime I got a chance to rush the passer, all I need is 1 snap to get a sack. So I guess that's how you got to look at it, and that's how I do it, and that's how we tell everybody else to.
Last couple of these season openers, you guys have forced a lot of mistakes from the other teams. Do you feel that preparation, that making a difference in moments like that?
Yeah, I mean, we just got to prepare for each plane, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to prepare for them, but we're going to focus on ourselves first and do whatever we need to do to correct our mistakes and be our best when it comes game time.
What have you seen from Juwan pass at quarterback, and how much do y'all think you can affect the guy? This will be his first start. Kind of, how do you think you can affect him?
He's an athlete. He can throw the ball. He can run the ball. So, it's a big challenge for us, and I think we're ready for the challenge. I think we're going to do our best to affect him up front, help our secondary out, and I think that's going to be our game plan, to affect the passer. I mean, that's what we want to do every week. That's our job. So,
hey, Christian,
we're going to take pride in that.
How you doing today, Christian?
Good. Yeah.
All right. It's good to see you, Christian.
You too.
That's a nice polo, Christian.
We saw a couple of true freshmen on the depth chart that we got today. Outside linebacker, Yabby and Cameron too. What have you seen from those guys so far?
I've seen a lot of improvement from them. I said last time I was around here, they always want to learn. They're always asking to learn what they can do better. So I've seen a lot of improvement from them. They've come to work every day, and they're doing a good job of getting the plays down. So I think now they just need to get some experience, to kind of understand how it works in college football. It's a little bit different than high school. So I think the more experience they get, even better they'll be. So I'm excited for those guys.
You guys never seemed like had 100% healthy linebacking core last year from probably the first, second quarter on. Do you kind of have the same confidence that even though you've lost a few guys, that you guys can still be one of the better groups?
Oh, of course. We have confidence in all our guys. I mean, as long as they're under, the coach's leadership and the older guys' leadership, they'll fall right into place. And like I said, I think it just is a matter of experience. Then we get a couple games under their belt, and I think they'll be a big part of helping us out this year.
Nick has expressed concern, though, especially with the injuries in the middle, about the lack of quality depth. I guess when you hear him kind of express that, what is your job as one of the leaders to maybe help some of those young guys come along a little quicker, maybe than other times?
Then it's my job to help get those guys ready. I mean, the coaches can coach you and do what they can. They can meet with you, but I think ultimately I need to lead by example. Number one, and number two, I need to get on them too. If I see them doing something wrong, I need to get on them just like I tell everybody else. If I'm doing something wrong, get on me. That's kind of how it works. So I think it's not only Coach Saban's job, but it's also the older guys' job to make sure we do what we can to get those guys game ready. Because like I said, we're going to need everybody. And you saw that last year, so we're ready for that this year.
Where do you see progress from the secondary? Because it's a big part of the factor with the relationship between pass rush and defense on the back end. How do you see them progressing?
they're doing really well. I think those guys are getting a lot more comfortable, and like you said, I mean, it's a hand-to-hand relationship. So we want to do everything we can to help those guys out, and I know they're going to cover their butts off to help us out, give us some time to get to the quarterback. So I think as long as we keep working together, we'll give each other confidence, and then, like I said, those guys are talented, and they know what to do now. So I'm ready to see what those guys will do this weekend.
Even as a defensive guy, have you gotten tired on campus, wherever, with family, friends, getting asked about the quarterbacks?
I wouldn't say necessarily. I mean, it's kind of just a repetitive question, but just really because the answer is going to be the same thing every time. I mean, we have two guys that are very talented, both can play, and both can help this team out, and we're happy with both of those guys. So at the end of the day, like I said, I mean, it's just going to be the same answer. I can't tell you who it is, or both those guys are awesome for our team. We love both.
Last year, you guys had to kind of scheme up to kind of assist some of the outside linebackers in the pass rush, and Minka was coming off the edge and blitzing a little bit. Do you feel like you've got guys that can do that on the back end, or do you feel like the onus is more on the pass rush and you guys to get to the quarterback?
Well, I think either way, I think would be fine. I mean, I think we're going to mix it up regardless. I mean, obviously, I think our front seven is more than capable of getting back there, but you always want to mix it up, and I think our secondary is more than capable to come down and on some blitzes and whatnot. So, I mean, either way, I think we're going to be able to apply some pressure, and that's our goal. We want to apply pressure and disrupt the quarterback.
Nick's been quoted as describing this team as a different kind of team than maybe they've dealt with in the past, meaning like they might need to score more points. When you hear that or whatever, as a defensive guy, what's your reaction to the coach saying maybe the offense might need to pick it up a little bit more than it has in past years?
Well, I mean, he obviously knows what he's talking about, so obviously I think that means that we should probably step it up, whether it's, being on the same page, not making mental errors, or physically just being all that we can be. So, I mean, I don't take it negatively at all. I think it just means we need to improve, and everybody always has room for improvement. Even the best defenses around here had things they need to improve on. So I think all that just means is that he wants to see us improve. And I look at it as a challenge, and I like challenges. So if anything, that makes me even more eager to go out there and get better and do what we can to show these people that this defense is another great defense. I think we just got to get on the same page together and just get the job done.
Last one.
You kind of talked about, well, traditionally y'all like to cycle in, a lot of guys to rush the passer, and you mentioned some of the young guys. Do you think we should expect to see some of the young guys in that area against Louisville getting playing time? And if so, who?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's going to take everybody to win. I mean, and those guys definitely can rush the passer. They're naturally good at it. It's just a matter of making sure they're on the same page of knowing what to do. And I think that with all their preparation, I think they're more than capable of doing so. So I wouldn't be surprised if we have those guys in there early on, helping us rush the passer and doing what they can to contribute to help us win.
All right, thanks, Chris.
Thanks.